Hello, everyone. So I'm going to introduce myself. I haven't been on the platform on the social media for quite a long time. I haven't been posting so much. It's just I've been like in a bit of an adventure. So I've been doing a lot of studying, a lot of reading, especially when it comes to masculinity, which then led me to other things. But anyway, I will start with my name is Fabricio. So I'm actually a personal trainer, and then just about a year ago, so I decided to do a transition. So I wanted to do help a little bit more couples, help men, help men a little bit more to gain their masculinity, and also help them to figure out what are the problems of life. And just kind of encourage them to say, hey, it's okay to feel a certain way. It's okay for you to go through this process, because this is what makes you a real man. So yeah, so basically I started with the process. um I started reading books, Royal Tomasi, then I was watching a lot of podcasts, and eventually I started to do a little bit more digging. What is the gender dynamics, understanding the male and the female role, understanding why men exist and why the women exist. So for the past few, so just today, it just came about this idea in my head. I've also been looking at religion itself. So, so let's say bear with me. So I try to do my very best to try to explain to you as precisely as possible how I came to this idea. So I've been enrolled into NLP course, and for those who don't know, so basically what it is, it's a neuro linguistic programming. And so what the course, what it does, it just kind of allows you to think in a different perspective, just to give you an idea, just to see the world from different lenses. Um, and so what I've been trying a lot recently is trying to look at, so try to find always the truth, what I believe is my truth, but also which is objective to truth, but then question it, in a way. Okay, how do this group of people see it? How does this group of people see it? And how does this group of people see it? So so then I was, for the past months, I would say, I've been really interested in the idea of religion. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of Catholic, so but I've never really gone deep into religion. I just kind of grow up, I like the morals of it. I believe in the morals of religion, but then at the same time, I didn't really believe like in a God. I just thought, on my point of view, I just thought, well, I'll just be a good person, do good for others, and I'm guessing it will reciprocate towards me. Um, so yeah, so basically with the whole idea, so I started studying men, what is the purpose for of men for life, um, and what is the purpose for women. So men, we sort of have these um, ideas, this meaning that men, we always want to find a mission, the next mission. We always want to conquer. It's part of our inner nature. We always want to conquer. We always wanted to find the next mission. This is us. We are problem solvers. We just love doing this type of things. And if you're looking on the female side, so females are more nurturing. They're more like towards family. They're more orientated towards kind of social groups. They're more like to like kind of stick together within the females groups. Okay, and the same applies with the men's side. But also another purpose of life for men is to find our mate, our love. We are the gender that's the romantic one. We tend to look. We always have this. We always go crazy for the idea that we'll find in love. Some not, but the majority of men. The reason why we do what we do, the reason why we conquer, the reason why we want to build stuff. It is essentially for the female, for a woman to find the true love that we want, to find love or whatever that may be for you. Okay, and so if you look at those ideas, okay, the reason why we do certain things in life, And everything in this world is split into two sides, and should I say good and evil. um Even when it comes to the kind of elements, fire and water, a sky and the ground and earth. So everything is in this is equal opposites. And so this whole idea, so I believe, is that this whole idea, it applies to all all aspects of it applies to aspects of life in a way. So yeah, so the past few months I've been doing a little bit like studying a bit of religion, just looking at why do we why do we need religion, and why do we must believe in it. So this is it's a innate human nature. So why we must have faith in something. Some people don't, but majority of the world, we tend to look for these things. So so I kind of so I came about this idea. So this, I'm not sure if this somebody ever talked about it, but this is a new idea that I was just thinking about it. I was watching this video about this like Christianity, but religion and so on. And so I just stopped and I was like, whoa! I just this epiphany, this idea that came into my head. So the whole idea is that so I started to ask myself, what came? Why did we create religion? Okay, and then I started to think deeper. So I started to look at the world as sort of in two ways, in two parts. So like we have the good and bad. So the good and bad. So you have water and fire. So everything's kind of split into two, men and female, masculine, feminine. So there's always this being these two sides of everything. Okay, so so if you look at the male, um, so the men itself, okay, women, we've sort of split into these two um, archetypes, which is the alpha and the betas. Okay, so the alphas, this always have been the masculine men, the one that's the one that's the brave one, that seems to be the alpha man, the one that's brave, the one that seems to be have all the advantage. They just all naturally embodies all the essence of men in itself. And there's always been a competition between I believe that between alphas and the betas. Okay, the alpha tends to have a much more advantage over social advantages when it comes to mating compared to the betas. Okay, so so if you read the Rational Male by Roro Tomasi, he talks a lot about this idea about how how alpha men's are. They are in nature. They do, they often look for this. They are the ones that alpha fox beta bucks, which means that the alpha part of it, so alpha males is looking to spread out the seeds. um and the betas, they are the one that who seems to kind of protect, not protect, the one that looks after the alpha um should I say the kids from the alpha, because I, in my perspective, it seems that I don't see a lot of alpha men setting down. They are the one that's always wanted to jump on from go to go. And the betas ones are the one that's often, they're the one that want to secure woman and stay with the woman, okay, and protect her and so on and so on. So just bear with me. So I'm not sure if I'm explaining myself well, but eventually we can start to come everything together. So um so yeah, so basically so before, so let's, so this is kind of my theory, but I'm not sure if this is right. Okay, but it might be my ignorance point of view. Okay, so I started to ask myself, so what came before? Why did it religion came about? And let's say, for example, in this world, okay, before religion, so we have this huge fight, a social, sorry, kind of competition between the alphas and the beta. So the alphas were the one who were controlling the majority of society, and then the females. Okay, And the betas, even to this very day, this seems to be a lot of the women are, they are attracted by, they know, they instinctively, they know when they found the alpha men, because for some reason they break all rules just for the alphas and create rules for the betas. All right. So imagine then, like, as we know society now, we know that a lot of the majority of the betas, they're really smart men. I mean, like, they are the one who they're the one who create a lot of the stuff. Most of the majority of the, I would say, the betas, they are the genius type. They are the one creating all these inventions in life, of course, on the other side as well. But I tend to look at the alphas men, that the more the firefighters, the policemen, the one that's army, the guys who going to war, and the betas are the one that's more kind of inventing stuff, the one that's kind of solving better problems, you know, technical problems. So then, so if you would go back, so just go back in time before religion. Let's say, you know, what if there was this huge competition between the alphas and the betas before religion? And the reason why I say religion, but the reason I'm talking about religion is because I just thought of this idea, this that religion was created by, obviously, the betas. Okay, obviously the men, because they're much more thoughtful. The betas, they're the genius type, and I'm sure the religion, okay, was created by the betas. Why they created, why they wanted to create it, the religions, because they know that by creating this religion, right, idolizing this god, okay, it's what sells to woman's prerogative. It's what woman essentially wants. So a man wants to, so um a man, he wants to secure a woman. So majority, I would say, the beta side of it, um because they struggle to get, um a lot of they struggle to get the female, they struggle to get attention from the females compared to the alphas. Okay, they get it, but I'm just saying that maybe the game was, okay, let's create a religion where we can play with the idea that the play with the idea on the female's emotional side. So should I say, let's create a religion where we can embrace family, this god. So it's all about family, it's all about having kids, it's all about passing on this morals, and in this cells, and let's create this sense of security, sense of community. And all of this sells to the female's prerogative, all this sells to female, okay, because what innately what a woman wants is a female, what they want is essentially to have family, kids, and also they wanted to feel protected, and also they're also looking for resources. So obviously, um, if you are going to create a religion based on those principles, and obviously you're always going to get to sell this idea that I sell this idea for the women, so then it can come into the religion. And obviously we have men who create a religion, so then you have this, so you just have this easy way of men. That's why even to this very day, a lot of men go to church, because of there they know that they can meet a female, the potential, the future wife. So it's an easy way for men. And what if that was the initial idea from the very beginning? So the beta men create a religion only to only sorry men, the beta men's create a religion, right, for the idea that to bring women, okay, into this space, into this community, so they can feel safe, so that they can, so then the beta men, so because there's so much So should I say the alpha males back then, they were dominating the markets. So the beta males had to come up with a solution so then they can balance itself out a little bit, or even nature itself. Okay, and maybe that was a solution, religion. Okay, then let's think a little bit deeper. Why why men had to create a religion to bring a woman, obviously to secure mate, to secure future maiden, but also we know that religion can also be a way to control, okay, to control population. But let's say for let's make it simple. I know we can make this so complicated. Let's put it this way: that religion was created to control, but also was a means to bring on female into religion. Okay, because the men started to see that women back then, before they had religion, they started to become very promiscuous, very liberated. Okay, even to this very day, you still see that when woman given, when women have power, when they feel more liberated, well, they tend to go, hell tends to break loose. Okay, and when it comes to the sexual liberation and everything, so in a way, men always have been the in a way religion kind of kept woman safe, kind of kept the woman in inside this little box. And let's I'm talking about here this sexual liberation. Okay, and that was a way that was a way that men could control the sexual nature of the female. All right, but also for many other reasons as well. There's a lot of other reasons why it is important to maintain this to maintain this, to control this, to control the female sexual nature, and also for promiscuity, sorry, but also for the idea that it allowed men to pick the best out of all of them, to pick the virgin one, to pick the one that was best suited for the right man. Okay, but then let's say if that was the idea, it was the initial idea of religion. But then eventually, obviously, over time, religion had to develop into something greater. Okay, like everything do, even up to this very day. Even today, if you look at religion, if you look at other cults out there, it starts with something so simple, so fundamental, then eventually over time it starts to develop into something bigger, something sometimes a bit scary as well. And as you can say the same thing as well about religion. Okay, it started with something. The reason why religion was created was because men had to create this ideal of a god, to basically create a safe space for women to idolize the men, because women always have been the one that followed men. Women, they must have a male figure on their life so they can look up to. That's always has been the case. Okay, so men had to create this men this I sorry men had to create a religion for the purpose that for so women can idolize this Jesus, or Christ, or God. Okay, so over the hundreds of years, thousands of years, and eventually this idea has sort of uh, uh, turned into something else, as it always has been. Okay, so this is, so bear with me because this is kind of, it's still kind of fresh in my head, this whole idea, how religion came about. I don't have no studies, I don't have no uh, no PhD, no nothing on this area, but it's something that I understand about human nature. I understand a little bit. I understand how men think, and and as we are, as I know myself, you know, if I could, if I look at myself in inside, as in my nature as a man, the things I would do for a female, a lot of things, the things I would do, so then I can become smart. So I can conquer. Okay, so I can become the best on my field. I can see that, and you know, And so this whole idea came to my head was because I really think that religion was created by men, but I wanted to find out why was it created. And I believe that there was a battle between the two sides, the alpha males and the betas. And the alpha men just naturally had the inclination towards getting girls. Okay. So the beta men had to come up with a strategy. They had to come up with, and since they are this, I would say the smarter one, they're not so socially um they're not socially aware of the things, but they're really, really smart, even like to this very day. Um so they come up with a way with this script. They got men together, and they started to write these ideas, the Bible, the commandments, and everything. This is crazy. I don't know how long it took this, but certainly I'm gonna find out because I'm really, really interested in the idea. I really like. I never used to be a fan of religion, but now I've become really fun of it. So become really um, passionate about the idea of does why did we create religion. So so I believe this whole idea came about because there was a social change, and men had to create religion also because of to compete. It could have been to compete with the alphas, so the betas had to do something about it. This may sound like a crazy idea, right? But it's just something that I've kind of noticed since since I understand a little bit about. So yeah, I understand a little bit how men works and how the female works and the things that we do for women. Okay, since I do work on the field as I'm a coach myself, masculine and masculinity coach, and also help couples as well. So this whole idea came about. This whole idea about religion itself came about when I started to study men, and then study the things that men do, and the things that the female do, and why they are who they are. Why do they seek resources? Why do they seek family and so on? And why do men always seek um, to conquer? Why do men always seek for power? Why do men always seek excuse me, always seek to find somebody, to find a female? And I think this is something that's innate within our into our biology. So if you can understand the principles of, I think if you can understand the principles of men and female in the most basic form, then I'm sure you start to understand why do we create certain things, why do we create religion. um and even now to this very day, and I think we're coming to sort of pivotal point where we started to see now back in the UK where they wanted to change. They wanted to take the pronoun of God as being a man, but now they wanted to convert into to change it to woman. So I can really see this kind of happening since we've sort of allowed men. We are the ones that's always in power. Women cannot have power without men. We are the one who give power to them, and they women cannot they cannot reinforce a law without men. Okay, so that's one thing that I know. So let's say, for example, in 100 going to 100, 200 years, 1,000 years in the future, what if religion itself has turned, and we start off to not idolize men, not idolize a god as we know as a man, but actually a female god. And so now the roles will be reversed. So now instead of when we first started, so when we first got into, so nowadays, if men we wanted to find a family, we were going uh, into religion. So we embody the we embody the the idea of religion into our life. and we follow it through. And also, why do we want to do it? It's also because we want to find family. We want to um, to build a family. We want to find a partner. And if you're within a field, if you are within in religion, it's much easier to find someone that shares the same value as you, same morals. So it's just common sense. And what if in 1,000 years in the future, um, we instead of um, we sort of kind of have this twisted idea that mm, we would be idolizing a female god. So then we will have men. We will go to these religions um, events or the church to find the to find our goddess. Okay, I know sounds a little bit like a really weird idea, but for some reason I kind of see that happening because you know because it happens nowadays. It happens in this day and age, and I really do think that I really do think that this could happen sometime in the future. This could happen. Um, the roles could change. So now, since now, 2023, um, the females tend to have a little bit more power because we give it to them. So that's the whole idea. They cannot reinforce power into us. We kind of give it to them because we know that they are the weaker gender. So we kind of like we just kind of in a way we kind of just submit to them. It's a really weird dynamics between men and a female. So yeah, I mean like this sounds like a bit of a crazy idea. Sorry if if I'm mumbling a little bit. But yeah, it's a kind of theory, um, an idea about religion. How did religion come about? I know a lot of people may have a lot of I may get I may get a lot of uh large groups religion um people may get mad, but I'm just viewing my findings and since I've for the past few months since I've been digging myself deep into books, learning how I am. Actually, I came into this because I wanted to find out more about myself, more about my nature as a man, and also because I wanted to learn about the female as well. So you know, so yeah, at the beginning of time, before religion itself, and I think that we men we've always been the same as we are now. The only difference is that the world has changed, the environment has changed a little bit, but we we are we are still doing exactly the same thing as we have been for thousands of years. It's just in a different situation. So yeah, so that's kind of my idea. That mm, so yeah, so I think the reason why men created religion, it was kind of the ideas of the beta men's because it had to create they had to create something to compete against the alphas back then, and also to control women because we know that once women are liberated, what tends to happen? Sexual freedom for the females, and we know that it's as it says but in the Bible, it is a sin of many kind. So I don't know much about it, but I am I am gonna learn more because I'm interested in this topic, and I'm willing to learn from both sides. I'm willing to see both sides of arguments, and I'll be able to kind of study and take a different perspective. I'm